Lately, I've been doing a lot of impressions on the show. Gollum, Chris Tucker, Sean Connery. All not terrible impressions, but I have saved one of my best ones. Bet you didn't know I did Tom Cruise. And it goes a little something like this.
I want the truth!
This is Real School. A lot of the fans of the novel Jack Reacher were really upset when Tom Cruise got cast as the monster Jack Reacher. But I'll let you be the judge. Reacher is supposed to be 6'5", about 250 pounds, has a 50-inch chest, icy blue eyes, and dirty blonde hair. And believe me, as much as I pick on people for being short, I am just kidding. I actually happen to be the one mutant in otherwise a long line of little people. You want to see a family picture? Can you tell which one is me? Let's put his tiny stature aside, but can Cruise bring this larger-than-life tough guy to life on the big screen? Well, he had great help from writer-director Christopher McQuarrie. More writer than director, though. He's written several epic films in the last decade. He's got The Wolverine and Jack the Giant Slayer coming up next year. And don't forget, this is the writer of The Usual Suspects. What's most impressive is not the fact that he won the Academy Award for writing this script because he deserved it. It's who he beat. McQuarrie beat out Randall Wallace, who wrote Braveheart that year, Joss Whedon, who co-wrote Toy Story, and Woody Allen. I find it sad that more people don't know who this guy is, and not a lot of people saw his directorial debut, The Way of the Gun. I bring this up because this man is directly responsible for creating some of the biggest cinematic badasses of all time. Dude created Kaiser Soze. So if anybody can pull off Jack Reacher, even if Tom Cruise is cast, it's Christopher McQuarrie. And guess what? He does. Cruise and McQuarrie do an amazing job of bringing Jack Reacher to life. And this character is now up there with icons such as Eastwood or Bronson. Well, not up there, like up there. A lot of the credit obviously has to go to the original novelist Lee Child. But McQuarrie's writing, Cruise's performance, and couple that with the gritty action of Jack Reacher, makes this film and this character very memorable. I especially like that they didn't just make Jack Reacher a kick-ass brute, they give him a lot of wit, too. There are so many great one-liners in this film. I could have easily given my For the Win to either McQuarrie or Cruise, because before this, I only liked a handful of Cruise films, and now Jack Reacher has added another one to the list. But in this episode, I'm giving my For the Win to Christopher McQuarrie. But with an asterisk. To reiterate what I said earlier in the review, McQuarrie the writer is fantastic. McQuarrie the director still has a lot to learn. While Cruise gave a solid performance, the rest of the supporting cast were just kind of there. That includes the lovely and talented Rosamund Pike. She's a very solid actress who's turned in some great performances in action roles before this, but in Jack Reacher, her performance is kind of flat. McQuarrie the director seemingly couldn't get any lively performance out of any of the supporting actors. Richard Jenkins, Werner Herzog. Wait, Werner Herzog? The German director? He was great too. He was kind of like a Bond villain, but all he really had to do was sit there and look all old and Germany. I get that perhaps the characters were an extension of the theme of the film, that everything was an absolute. Right and wrong, good and evil. And that might be why the characters were one-dimensional. But that might be giving the film too much credit. It wasn't a perfect film for a lot of reasons. I think one of the biggest issues was the pacing. Man, did some parts drag on. But I would say, if I have to choose, and I do because it's my show, that I would give it and earn it. People who go to see this movie will like Jack Reacher just like a lot of people who read the novels love the character in print. I will say this too, that as much as I say that Christopher McQuarrie, the director, has a lot to learn, he is still very good at using film to tell the story. Remember I've talked about this before? Visual storytelling? In The Way of the Gun, there's an amazing section of the film where there's no talking, but there is still a lot of plot development. It's not about what the characters say, it's all about what they do. It's actually one of my favorite film sequences ever. Watch out for that in Jack Reacher as well, because the first 10 minutes of the film is actually told with no dialogue. That is quite an accomplishment. No poll question today. Instead, I just want to wish every single real schooler a happy holidays, especially these people. So, in this holiday season, gather the family around the old fireplace or computer and keep watching Real School, because we should have a couple more reviews up before the end of the year. Well, if not, then like I said, have a great holiday. So until then, or until next year, school's out.